I hit that bell, and thanks for listening. The Western Journal is definitely spot on when it comes to whether Melanie live at the White House or not, as the role of Trump's second term could look vastly different. Now, this is just an analysis pushed out on June 25th, 2024 at 7:02 a.m. Let's go for it. If Donald Trump moves back into the White House for a second time, things could look a lot different, especially in regards to the role the First Lady plays, if it's reported accurately, according to television or fake news. According to Anas, Melania Trump, not known to love the Beltway lifestyle or its benazzlement, might spend her second 4 years as First Lady commuting between Palm Beach, Florida, New York, and Washington, D.C. So the report is Donald is definitely seeming to be selected to be the next guy. Of course, we know life is a game, and we're in a matrix, and we're in a simulation. For those who don't know, now you know. It's been dropped on you. So because we're in a simulation, and Biden has a story he must play, and Trump has a role in a story he must play, it depends on how hard you play. Let's put it like that. The deck can be stacked against you or for you. I did a video some years back about Biden before he became president, and that channel got removed because I told who was going to be president based on the colors, based on the numbers that was in front of Biden and Trump. There was really a tie between the two when it comes to the oligarch. However, the Simpsons sort of kind of told you the story how they really wanted it to go. Trump's supposed to be the president right now while Biden's the president, and then they were going to bring in Hillary. But then now they're seeming like, okay, well, we can twist the story and bring in Kamala and remove Biden out the way before the presidency of Trump kicks in. Now, their all attempts is to remove Trump by any means possible. Just like that doesn't mean he's going to really die. That just means they're going to move his character out the way if they can do it, based on how they moved Michael Jackson out the way, how they moved Kobe out the way, how they move Whitney Houston out the way, how they move a lot of people out the way that are too. Whitney Houston was moving towards being, she was getting baptized. She was going back to her roots. Michael Jackson was calling the person he worked with, I think it's publisher, a devil. Kobe pretty much was at the top of his game, and he needed to move out the way so that LeBron James, King James, would get all the glory, because those characters are sort of playing the same role in the game. And of course, we know NBA and NFL are all scripted plays. They're all actors. So everybody that you see on television, they tell a vision to you of what you need to see, but the vision they tell is a lie. Okay, so they're pushing this spill out that Melania doesn't want to be in the White House. Well, Melania is playing a role, and that role is to support Trump. That's it. Support Trump. She has, as well as Trump and many others, Obama and Michael slash Michelle, have all been to the island. What did they do at the island? I don't know. But in order to get this high up, you got to go to the island. Now, that doesn't mean that you did everything everybody else did in all those different color rooms, okay? Like at Diddy's party. There are things you do at the parties. There are things you do when you go there to incriminate yourself so that they can hold things over your head. But I do believe if he had done some things at the island, him and Biden would be removed. Right now, they wouldn't be running because they can just bring somebody in like Michelle Obama. Oh, but she was at the island too. He was at the island too. So Nikki's part of the Tolmont priestly class, Anunnaki class, just like Kamala Harris is part of the Anunnaki class, just like Vivette is part of the Anunnaki class. If y'all know what Anunnaki is, please look into it. Old girl trying to drop some coins here. Okay, Anunnaki, Nazi, jury, Russian, and this is Biden and Trump. The thing I'll say about Trump is this: though the gossip columns definitely are talking about them not expecting to see Melania in the nation's town, the capital. they're used to they're used to her not being what they want her to be as far as like relishing in being at the White House. I mean, she's playing a role in the support role. The main thing I want you to see is, and here is that unlike the Obamas and Biden, the Trumps largely avoid jolts of hometown Washington rah 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 thing. You know, they're not and have not in love with Washington because Washington actually isn't it really isn't part of America. But anyway, Melania was typically reclusive. You know, she's this reclusive kind of personality because she probably thinking, saying, "Man, I didn't even think my script was going to go this far, this long, and I don't want to be the next wife that gets removed." Because Trump's first wife got removed when MSNBC said on live television. The commentators were sitting there, four or five of them, and they were talking about Trump needs to die. And I was like, did they just say he needs to, like Madonna said? And I said, whoa. Then 2 days later, someone fell off the stairs, named a Trump, and they removed that character out to play. So what I'm saying is this is definitely a theater. It's something that it's like the eating of you. It's like eating of your mind. Now remember, in all of this, you know, of course, Hunter Biden is trying to get out of facing 25 years in prison tactic thing. So that's drama. Okay, so it's so much drama going on right now to distract you from the fact that the CBD system, the world coin system, is trying to be pushed through with the Fed. The Federal Reserve definitely are trying to, which are ran by jury. And if you don't know what jury is, it's the synagogue of Satan. And if you don't know who Satan is, well, he's an Anunnaki. He's a humanoid half breed who embodies individuals in power. Okay, would I call him? Could he be a Trini? Yes, he could be a Trini. But that can be behind closed doors. Look at his characteristics in any book that talks about him, meaning he's just a super freak. He's like Diddy. He's a super freak. Okay, he can stand before you holy like TD, and then turn around and be doing stuff behind the scenes. You'll think he's so holy. You'll think he's so upright, and you'll defend him. And the people that really do the most vomicky things are the people that get supported. The people who, yeah, I got my behind up in there, and I'm part. When you're born into something, when you're born into the Anunnaki slash Palladian breed, like Trump is, and Hillary are, Obama, they're all related, but Trump and Hillary more so. I think it's Rothschild, Rockefeller bloodline. You have to be really careful because they'll remove their own. I was gonna say something else. They'll remove their own. That's all I'm trying to say. Um, of course, we know, like I was saying earlier, that the NBA, all that stuff is staged, and a lot of these people aren't even what you think they are. And go there. And there's a lot of perversion that's going on in the school systems. You know, I was going to talk about how when you promote out the White House perversion, it gives more people who are in that frame of mind the withal to try to execute their sick desires. You know, there was a special needs teacher who was fired after sickly acting on some dark imaginations with a special needs kid. You can look when you report stuff like what I'm reporting with how this is a game, like with Julian Assange, him with his long years of standoff with the government of the United States. I would say our government, but these days I don't know what the hell they are. The government. It's when you're playing a role, because he's on the Illuminati cards, Julia Assange, and actually Pence is on the Illuminati card. And everybody said it was Trump. Really, it's Pence. I could talk more about that. I probably need to do more decoding, but right now I'm just doing commentary this morning, giving you my spiel, running through some stuff, letting you know that look, the Julia Assange thing is part of let's call it a what's the game called? I did a video on the other day. It's the game of life. It's a game. I got to look on the video. I need to pull it up. My video I did the other day, but it's a game. This is a game. It's a game. I know that sounds weird. And when you're watching basketball and wrestling and football and golfing and hockey, it's all scripted. They know what they should do. If they get injured, they have healing beds that can fix you up. Now they want to use those healing beds for the good of humanity, but those people who are in power, then the oligarch, the Anunnaki, the hybrid breed, they're not about all that. You're useless eaters. Let's just say it like that. So this whole give freedom to everything and everybody is in order for them to be able to have slaves again and call them immigrants, illegals. Those are slaves. They will have no rights in New York, California, Washington State, Detroit, Chicago. Those people are slaves. Over, what is it, 88,000 kids right now are missing. If anybody on the sound of my voice can excuse in this play, in this book, in this story, in this simulation, souls coming up missing through the hands of the president we have now, and he's permitting them to come through the border and gets dispelled. Who can look past that? I don't care about Biden or Trump on any level as far as them just being human. I care that if you're going to use the justice system, that the justice system be fair. Now it's obvious that the whole media, the whole news, owned by oligarchs. The news stations are owned by the oligarchs. They're owned by the masters according to your flesh. They're owned by the manipulators. They're owned by the billionaire trillionaires. They're owned by people who aren't really quite like you. I ain't gonna go too far into that. They're owned by people who prefer for you to be a whisper, a whisper. A whisper. I heard a lady the other day, I don't know what country she was from, and she was saying that about eating babies and eating food, and she said it out the same spiel, and I was like, are they kidding me? If you read any book and you hold it dear, that's supposed to be your book of belief system, and you don't understand that what it's talking about is scripted, what it's talking about is a prelude to what you're seeing. It's just telling you, hey, the editors wrote this, you're going to believe it, and you're going to help it manifest. And this is what's going on with Trump and Biden. Love them or hate them, when it comes to the Trumps, and that family, they're coming and going, is like really like extreme sports, because I know for a fact that you can be absolutely innocent of something. However, if you're wrapped around a whole bunch of wicked people, meaning like you've done wrong, I'm talking about Trump, you've done wrong, and they show his wrong. Now that January 6th thing, that was a skit. And the police officer that was running them up and down the stairs, I did a video on that. That was staged. That was fake. And they are lifting up as a hero. And the lady, that Babbitt lady that got shot, she might not be actually that. It's all a skit. But I got in trouble for saying that some years back. But that's okay too. I got in trouble. They moved that video because I was like, no, I decoded her name. So it's all a skit, and it's all to get your emotions going, to get you in fear, to get you in terror, to get you to think the world is about to end, when the world isn't going to end unless you say it's going to end. See? Your world will end. Your prosperity will end. Your joy will end. See? Your peace will end. So there will not be a capturing away, a pulling away, because you have to look on the pyramid. Listen to me. Look on the pyramid. Look at the Illuminati pyramid. I don't care how much you like your pastor or your bishop or your priest or your whatever, or your guru or your leader. They're on the pyramid. If you can't pick that up, I don't know what to tell you. Trump. Yes, Trump has not been the most idealistic personality in the game, because he's a game piece that likes to have freedom. And he doesn't like to be completely puppeted like West. They don't like to be puppeted. So it's like what's it, Damon Dash. He doesn't like to be puppeted. There are certain people that's like, no, I'm sitting beside the people that I've been raised with. We've been groomed together. A lot of these people been groomed together, and they've been around each other a long time, whether you know it or not. Donald Trump and Biden and a whole bunch of other people, and Trump's having to have to play this role. Okay, let me give you an example. I have about 5 or 6 relatives right now from a small town who are doing time. There, there were, let's say there was like 15 people shooting. All the bullets got cleaned up except for a few. Yes, at the, let's say, party, and the police allowed it. And the bullets that got picked up were the drug dealers' bullets. I have some relatives that's doing 20 to 35 years in prison right now for that, and they're not guilty of it. And they had no proof they did it. They shot no one. No one died. But they doing that much time. Why? Because when you will not bow to the game that you agreed to be part of, because those family members of mine, though they went to church, they still wanted to go hang at the clubs. They still wanted to go hang at the birthday parties that people got invited that were either good people and bad people. There were different kinds of people at the party. However, the good, meaning the ones who like the bad, like to be around the bad, but in their hearts they're really not bad people. They like to talk they mess. They gonna say what they gonna say. They like to be tough guys, but they're really not about raping and pillaging anybody. Those are the ones that get in trouble because they're so close to they're so deep into the perversion because they were born in that town, raised in that town, around those people. They're used to those people. Biden's different. Biden's a Jesuit, really a faithful Catholic. But Trump would be I could say Trump's a Jesuit, but he's not. He plays the game because you're in the game. You raised around these people. You're brought up this way. So, how do you explain the game without saying too much? And I'm trying not to say too much to get the video snatch. And the person that watches my videos, good morning to you. Good morning. Good evening. Good night. This person's sort of kind of I don't know. It may be an AI. It may just be, well, no, it's like 2 or 3. But anyway, getting emotional sometimes and don't like that I look at Biden, and Biden's character supposed to be a good person. However, Biden, with his daughter's diary thing, I can't excuse the teacher who's taking advantage of, according to the news, doing a sickening act with a student while leaving parents in the dark about it. Special needs teacher did this to a special needs child. I can only look at Biden and say, Biden, you really encourage this person. You really encourage this person to go into their fantasy, to be less than high frequency, to be low frequency. You encourage. I didn't say he did it, but he encouraged it because it's what he does. And Trump just a typical wannabe lover boy, especially when he was younger. I don't know now. Biden, Biden still think he lover boy, but a lot of time Biden isn't even in that. Whoever's playing Biden's in the skin suit, he jabbers a lot. Biden doesn't say much when he's in public. He doesn't talk much, but the guy that plays Biden jabbers a lot. And I've said what when Biden first became president that he had dementia, and I was trying to tell people, but yeah, Biden's just a shell of a person right now. Um, I'm not gonna watch any debate. What's the point? I'm not that deep into the game. I'm trying to make sure I watch what's going on in the gold, and I'm watching China. I'm watching what their people are going through because it's very important to know what others are going through in order for you to be able to speak what it is that will not manifest in your life. So you see other people going through something. Oh no, no, no! Oh, I cast that down. Oh no, 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 no! This is what I speak from for America, for our lives, and I advise everybody to do that. That we will be a blessed nation. Don't think somehow that you're wishing for America to fall, and somehow you're not going to suffer with her. You will. The American people are not the guilty ones. It's when they allow perversion to get through. Because a lot of people that are doing these perverted things is because they have walk-ins or possessions. They're possessed, but they have walk-ins and they have entities in them who want to live out their lives. Me pause on that because some people may not understand that neither. Anything else I want to say? Mary Jordan of the Washington Post, she's an associate editor, was saying that Melania does what Melania wants. Um, it's just the fact that they're in the play, Trump and Melania. They just don't carry out their roles in the play properly. However, their faces are needed, their bodies are needed so that there can be a divide in the country, red and blue. I would advise all Americans get off the red, get off the blue. I wouldn't even say stand on the purple. Just be aware that though Trump's being persecuted, just like the story of Jesus being persecuted, it's all a play. And it's all symbolism to show you that you need to stand up. Stand up for hope. Stand up for truth. Not for what the media says is truth. Go in your heart. Spend time with yourself and say, now what would be right? What would be right? What would be right is a world that didn't pay for things to be done under the table. But we're not in that kind of world, are we? We're not in that kind of world. Oh boy. And Melania has a path. Trump has a past. Biden has a past. His weird little wife has a past. She's sort of weird. Um, she's interesting, I tell you. Her and Kamala husband are very interesting when it comes to being, I guess, from my observation, lovers. So it's just a lot of weird stuff that goes on. Dr. Jill Biden. And Obama calling Michelle Michael, which is like, I was telling people a few years back that Michelle Obama is a hermaphrodite because they kept saying she's a Trinity, she's a Trinity. I was like, no, y'all, she's a hermaphrodite. I think that, I mean, they can do a lot of splicing and stuff to people's bodies these days with these skins and all that, putting on skins and stuff. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't knock it. Don't knock it. Just say, I don't know what she's talking about. Don't knock it. Do not knock it. Because sometimes those of us who have small channels only because they remove channels. I've had so many channels removed. So many channels removed. Yes. Old girl has had so many channels removed. They cry and complain about me all the time because this is the thing. You can't stop a person who doesn't care about monies on the tube. You can't stop a person who doesn't care about being wealthy on the tube. Who cares? I'm just gonna speak what I know and uncover what I see and tell you what they're trying to do. They were saying that Biden's campaign forfeited a state to Trump, because Biden has no chance to win. And I think they were talking about Ron DeSantis, Florida state, because Ron DeSantis actually was really one of the only people that actually did what was right after he saw that it would hurt his state. Maybe initially he didn't care to stand up against Corey or COVID-19. But later on, it was like, let's find some other options. And that's why they call him a superstar, because he's a personality that says, you may not agree with me. However, in the long run, 10 years from now, you'll agree with me. In 2025, they were saying that there will be another pandemic. Well, Biden said it. And I was like, yeah, I know. And someone else said it the other day too. And I was reading the article, was a PDF file where I was reading who was saying in this docket. Another guy was saying, I think he was that yes, 2020. Well, this guy had said in 1987 that if they couldn't get the economy to collapse in 2020 and people starve, they were going to make sure it happened by 2025. Period. And I was like, damn. You know. And have anybody ever noticed that the Facebook logo is a cane, a walking cane of the Masonic cane? Y'all ever seen a red and white Mason walking cane? That's what it looks like. And then you got X, Twitter, Elon Musk's X. That's actually half of the Masonic thing as well. And then they got this little torch, the Liberty torch. That's the bearer of the light. And you got the envelope with the email. That's the Mason's apron. I always wondered what these two, this little airplane thing represents. I'm looking at something, so y'all may not see what I'm looking at. Some people are saying like this guy named Nate Silver. He's not well known, but I'm just saying his thing's called On the Edge, and he was saying that Trump should drop out too. So that was the whole play. The whole play is, make it where Trump looks so bad that Hillary will look good. That Hillary will look good, even though he said that he would lock her up. He didn't. He didn't. So, however this thing plays out, understand that get your house in order. Don't see the world as ending. See the world as a play. Of course, remember, they've always wanted to remove Biden. On The Simpsons says the country's broke. So when Kamala gets in there, maybe she'll say the country's broke because of Donald. Who knows? We shall see. Because it's a crazy world. And The Simpsons project a lot of things, and they already know how the template's supposed to go, but they have to feed it to you. Let me show you on Twitter what they were saying in this story about Biden and Trump in Florida. And tell me if this isn't an underdog story. All right, so this is another screen. And here, on June 10th, 2024, this was pushed out actually at Death at the Door in A New Beginning. What is this? I'm just doing the dates and stuff to just calculate. But anyway, wow, they still want to get rid of Trump. Death at the Door. I'm talking about this right here, people. Okay, when they pushed it out, it was 11:44. 1-1 is like 9/11. It's beginning, a new beginning. But 44 in gematria is Death at the Door. So they're going to begin a new thing to try to remove him. They're going to try to push Death at the Door. They still could remove Biden out the way, because for Biden it's 37.6, and that's I got to look at that. That's CIA, I think. And then you got who is this? Who is this? 56.6. That could be a 9/11 rotated. Okay, so anyway, what is pink and green blend together? Purple. So I guess they're undecided. It's green and pink together, purple. Anyway, so I'm watching my other videos. You'll sort of kind of get why I'm talking the way I'm talking. Yeah. All right, so I just want to get on this morning just to remind people that that be more focused on getting out of local debt, meaning stuff that actually could take your money from you because you need it, like a car. Try to get out of debt with a car, a house, or get in a smaller house, but try to make sure that it's in your name. Of course, like Klaus Schwab says, you will own nothing and be happy, meaning that there's really nothing on earth you can own anyway. But at least by claiming you own it or paying it off, at least you won't have to pay a mortgage or a loan on it. So that'll clear up some money for you until you can figure out how to not be bamboozled. Because they're going to try this starvation thing very soon. And yeah, they're going to try the starvation thing. And don't be deceived. Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Gaza and all of these different places are right now, it's just a lot of maneuvering to bring distraction. There's a lot of distraction. Unless you're there, you really don't know what's going on. So all I know is that usually people who are not liked and found guilty tend not to be guilty of what they're saying. They might be guilty of not kissing ass. They may be guilty of I don't want to play in your system the way you want me to. They may be guilty of oh my goodness, like I remember the night Trump and Melania they became was it 45th presidents, first lady whatever, and they were shook. You could tell by body language they did not think that he was going to win. Period. And I think for a while they thought they were going to die because the oligarch needed more time to bring about this one money system that the Federal Reserve private bank could run. They had to cause chaos. They had to cause this big thing to happen where you're going to need them and you can't get along without them. They're going to need you to need them. Now, of course, a lot of people are falling by the wayside already because of the pow pow and the pow pow and the boo boost and the boost boost and the pow, then another pow pow and then the boost boost and then the boost boost. Okay, that was Alice in Wonderland's finest concoction. And then they've been tic tac toeing spider webbing the sky of late, and all our trees in our county, a lot of trees are actually dying, like thousands. Do you hear me? Thousands all along the major highways. I was going to my hometown and one of my hometowns, and I saw trees just dying, and I'm like, they're doing too much. They're terraforming this earth too much with their chems and their trails and their cloud seeding. They've already cloud seeded Africa enough to keep it from most of the continent of Africa from keeping it from prospering. And so the Anunnaki slash Nazi slash Aussie Nazis are doing too much in this game. I know they're desperate, but we have to hold on to knowing that all things will work for our good. The next time they tell you line up and receive, just say hell to the no, and don't do it. Because if you do, you're going to be rump to the dump. And you're not going to be on the land of the living. It does not matter the theatrics that they put on the television. It doesn't matter what they tell your vision. Understand, it's a tell of a lie to your vision. Please remember that. I feel sorry for Biden's character. However, you can't get in that low frequency without being pedo, perversion. If you ever want to be a lover of the truth, the thing that they accuse one person of, the other person's doing it. And our president at this present moment is actually Obama. All right, let's just take the bill. Thanks for watching.